What's up, guys? March 25th, 2024. Welcome back. It's another day. I'm about 5 days and 22 hours clean from OPMS liquid Kratom extract shots. I was taking 3 a day for about 5 years. In the past year, I've done, I don't know where I'm at, to be honest with you. Like, I woke up this morning feeling incredibly anxious, but it could be worse. Starting to get more aches and pains in my body and my joints. And at first I was thinking, maybe it was going to be because of like the weightlifting, which I'm not even doing like an insane amount of because I've sort of fallen off on that in recent years, unfortunately. So in other words, it doesn't take much for me to get sore. But I don't know, there's a very distinctive difference between like the good type of muscle soreness and like the type that you feel in your bones and your joints when you're quitting a substance like kratom and probably other opiates. But overall, I'm feeling decent. I just started this video and I don't really know. I don't have an agenda to talk about right now. To be honest, I'm hitting record to sort of like pass some time because it's like I don't feel miserable. But, like I said, the days are stacking up, and that long road ahead of me just kind of messes with me. You know what I'm saying? Woke up with anxiety this morning, just like yesterday. So if you guys have been watching my videos, you'll know that like I had that one really good day. What was it, like day 3 or day 4 or something? Where I was surprised to find like for almost the entire afternoon, I felt nothing negative at all. Like I could definitely tell I was like, withdrawing, like not great. But it wasn't like just like dying. Like I didn't feel the tightness. I didn't feel like I had the skin pulled across my face and my body. My bones weren't on fire. I didn't feel like I had to crack my knuckles all the time. I didn't feel like I had this like nervous, pulsating energy emanating from my chest and my thighs and just body tingles all over, And then that hit later in the afternoon, but I got through it, right? If I got through it, you guys can get through it. So this whole time I was thinking like the acutes are going to just get worse and worse and worse. And that still could be like, I'm very cautious to anticipate anything at all between days 3 to, I think in previous videos I've said like days 3 to 5 are my weak point. But really days 3 to like 9. Now, I'm not talking severity. It's really weird, guys, because all of this can sound intimidating if you're listening to this and you're just like wanting to get started, but you're hesitant. I guess what I mean is like, it's not linear. So like you'll have like the worst day imaginable, right? And then you'll wake up the next day and you'll be like, you know what? I can do this. Like, this is worth it. I can do it. It's going to be okay. It's constant back and forth between that. But yeah, like this morning I woke up and I don't have like all of the terrible physical sensations. I don't have heat waves right now. I don't have the shivers, but I do have like pretty elevated levels of like anxiousness, restlessness. Like the past few days, I've been able to wake up with like a bit of a drive, right? Like I'm so tired of like my current situation that my drive up until this point, and even still now, but like I'll get to the point, but like it's just getting to the point where like my, the first few days, like my drive was enough to get me through the day and like not have me wallowing in self-pity and just like constantly hyperfixating on how shitty I was feeling, right? But as time goes on, like, that drive, it like ebbs and flows, it wanes, it goes back and forth, and it could be obliterated altogether if you aren't careful, right? Like you can't just hope that drive is going to stay there intact, right? Like this perfect trove of energy that you can just dip into. No, you have to craft that, cultivate it, and help grow it yourself, right? Positive thinking, positive actions, healthy actions, eating cleanly, drinking water, exercising, and getting out of the habits that got you into the situation that you are in now that has led you to this godforsaken corner of the internet listening to me, of all people. But I'm glad you're here, because at the same time, if I'm successful, if I've gotten this far, guys, you can too. I'm telling you. I thought I was cursed with like the unfortunate physiological, mental, and spiritual makeup, just by chance, genetic lottery, that would make me dependent on this forever. I just thought that like maybe just some people are too weak to quit this. And I know that sounds bad, right? And I don't mean that as like an insulting way, like that person's too weak to quit. I don't mean it like that. I just mean like self-doubt. Like, man, like what if all these people that have been successful like have something that I don't, literally, like have something that not only that I don't have, but that I can't have, that practice can't give me, right? That discipline can't give me. Like, what if I just have like an extreme sensitivity to the fallout of all this? That is just too much for me to bear, right? For a long time, I was thinking that way. Like, I would always push those thoughts back because I know they're just not real, right? Guys, look around. Like, you could take the most hopeless cases, seemingly hopeless, and they're doing a million times better than me right now. They've turned it around. So nobody's cursed with this forever. Nobody's cursed with this forever. So I'm saying, if I made it this far, I can't even believe I'm here. You definitely can, for sure. And I think a big part of what got me here was the drive, just my drive. I'm just so fucking sick of my situation. I'm sick of being sick. So again, like I'm not feeling too terrible right now. It's like I woke up and I don't have like that singular drive. I woke up the days before this and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I gotta do the dishes. I gotta take the garbage out. I'm gonna take a walk. I'm gonna shoot a video, right? Scratch that productive itch so I don't slide down a different productivity rabbit hole that would trigger me to go buy something. But today that isn't really there. Like before I shot this video, like I woke up not even that long ago, 30, 40 minutes ago. And like before the coffee was even done pouring, I found myself like pacing the house. Like just back and forth, 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 back and forth. Just restless. I don't know what to do. It's too cold to go outside. I mean, it's not terrible. It'll be in the 51 later and sunny, but I mean, come on, man. These little things that you don't even, like this, like you see, like I'm moving, I gotta move, I feel like energy, I feel weird. I have these weird brittle bones, I call it brittle, they feel brittle, like my bones wanna break. That knuckle cracking, it feels fucking weird. Right now I have to crack my knuckles, but I can't. It's like my joints, it's like there's something in me, like in my bones. It's like my bones are hollow. That's what it feels like all over. It's really fucking weird, man. In terms of sleep, I did sleep again last night. I went to bed totally not expecting that. So what else, guys? I don't know. This is kind of a messy video. I don't know if there's much going on other than that. I guess what I'm saying is like, it's hard to explain where I'm at right now. Because I don't feel like in significantly worse shape than I've been. But I feel like that there's something I had in the first few days that I don't have today. But it doesn't feel like whatever it is that went away is essential. Like I'm not like cowering in a corner. I'm not like bawling my eyes out. I'm not like overwhelmed with depression. I'm not like, maybe I'll go back to what I said in one of my previous videos. It feels like sort of like the what do I do now feeling. What do I do now? What do I do now? And I think that's probably one of the most important things in this process, guys. Like, I've said it before, like, do what you got to do to quit, right? So long as it's not detrimental to yourself or others, or as long as you're not replacing one thing with another, right? I said it yesterday, like, if there's a day where you just got to, like, lay down all day, if that's what's going to do it for you, get you through, do it, right? But I do think it gets to a point, like right now, right? I've started habits in the first 5 days before this that have carried over, luckily, okay? And I've been doing them every day. But the issue is that, like, once you get far enough out, if you just, like, cocoon yourself in your bed and get through the withdrawals, and you're just sitting there, fuck, this sucks, fuck, right? And, like, 5 days passes. That's perfect. Great job, 100%. But when you emerge from that cocoon, the problem is that, like, no habits have changed, right? the day is going to be exactly the same, minus the thing that made it 10 times easier for you just a few days earlier, right? So I do think that like certain changes have to be made to maybe alleviate the mental torment and the physical side of it as well. And I think it does highly depend on people's living situations as well. Like if you have your own space, if you live alone, I think that helps a lot. I do not, unfortunately. And that's another reason I'm trying to quit this shit, because, you know, I was on the track just like any other young adult to be out on my own in the world, right? And things went wrong, right? I squandered a lot of that just based on my decisions, especially around the K. So my point is just that like a lot of my day can sometimes be inexorably linked to others, if that makes sense. Something I'm struggling with. But I still have those new habits ingrained in me, or in the process of becoming ingrained in me. So in other words, I think that's protecting me from the worst of it. Like I could have woke up today and been like, fuck, I don't feel like that drive. The drive is gone. And that's a dangerous territory for me, right? Because for so many years, I'd say, what gives me drive? Well, if I go down the street and buy one of those, I'll have drive, at least temporarily. But now I don't have that. I don't have like that little bottle, nor do I have drive. So what to do? What to do? That's where the habits come in. Overall, things are good. Overall, things are good. Much better than I expected. I'll tell you what, you've heard it a million times. I'll say it a million more times. The acutes, the really shitty physical symptoms, they come in waves. But I will say this, they haven't gotten more severe. And I'm so thankful. So thankful for that. Their persistence is a bitch, though. Their consistency is a bitch, though. Just constantly there. Like, guys, yesterday was like a little rough, actually. Like, the beginning of the day was good. I did shoot those videos, so I felt pretty good about that. But like afterwards, man, like just the rest of the day and well into the night was just constant, like, ugh, man. Every joint in my body is just like burning. It's like a very strange feeling. And usually when I go to bed, I don't feel the the body tingles, right? The nervous energy, the restless anxiety in my chest. I don't feel that when I go to bed. The only thing I feel usually when I go to bed is like restless legs, right? And maybe like obviously a baseline anxiety, right? Like not normal. But mostly it's the legs that I deal with, right? My fucking legs, they just won't stop flopping around, dude. And I can't sleep. Even though I did finally sleep last night. But last night I noticed that like that wave, it like never subsided. It just stayed with me. I was laying in bed at like 11 and I was feeling like heat coming up my body and tingles. And I'm like, oh, fuck, even this late, man? Like, just give me a break, dude. That's kind of where I'm at, where it's like, just give me a break. And that's sneaky, right? Because, you know, what is a break? There are no breaks right now. Like when I say give me a break, who am I talking to? I'm talking to nobody. There is nothing that will give me a break. The only thing that would give me a break, quote unquote a break, is by going back down there and failing. But that's not a break. That's like shattering, right? That's not like just giving you a reprieve. That's sending you back into like a full tailspin, right? So I can't do that. So those are the reasons why, like, I think new habits are essential, no matter how small they are. Because there's going to come a time where that resolve in you, not that it breaks, it's just that, like, the persistence of the negative feelings and the shitty feelings, mental, physical, like, sort of, like, maybe overpower or at least become a formidable opponent to your resolve. And that's where it gets dangerous, because you just want a break. I've done so well. Why can't I get a break? Why can't I just have an hour? Like, I'm not even asking for like a perfect situation. I just want an hour of like alleviated physical sensations. I just want an hour where I feel like a normal drive to be like, yeah, let me get out there and do something. You know what I mean? You're going to want that after a while. You know, the first few days it's like war. The soldiers storming Normandy on D-Day, like they weren't thinking about much else other than just getting off the boats and getting to across the beach so they can kill those Nazi scums in the bunkers with their MG40s, right? They weren't thinking about like, in the middle of the beach, like, oh man, I wonder what it's like up there. I wonder what it's like when I get up there. It's like, no, it's like a desperate struggle to stay alive as all of your friends and your fellow soldiers get gunned down by Krauts from elevated positions with automatic machine gun fire. There's no chance to think about anything else. That's like the first 4-5 days of acutes. Some days longer, depending on your usage, depending on your makeup. You're not thinking about much else. See, and that's what's tricky. You'll do anything to get through it, even if that means just laying in bed and just fucking dealing with it. But what's that going to do for you when you get to the other side? You made it through D-Day. You have stormed the beach. You've killed them Nazi Krauts up in the elevated bunkers with their MG40s, those dastardly MG40s. But now what do you do? What's the plan from here on out? The war isn't over. That was the nastiest battle any of those soldiers had ever seen. They survived. Surely it's over. Nah. It's just begun. It has just begun. And there's much more to go. You were just lucky enough to survive the beginning onslaught. You see? Maybe that's a negative way to look at it. But here's the thing that you also have to think about. You make it through Normandy Beach. You make it through D-Day. You make it through days 0 to 5. You've got a degree of strength now that, if dealt with properly, if reflected on properly, if meditated on properly and thoroughly, that could propel you through the next few days. And I think that's what's happening with me. I think a mixture of me just being totally done with this shit, mixed with everything I've talked about, is enough to propel me through the negative feelings that would normally have me at my knees by now. That feeling of wanting a break. I'm not going to take a break. There are no breaks on Normandy Beach. Every soldier on Normandy Beach wanted a fucking break. Dude, my grandpa, he died before I met him. He was a medic there. I'm so much older than him than he was when he was tending to soldiers with blown off limbs under machine gun fire on a foreign land, 18 years old. And what? What am I complaining about? A plant? I can't stop taking a plant? I mean, you read his journal and it's the shit that he saw is 18. What am I? Bitchy and moaning about a fucking plant. War is war. If this is my war, who's to say that it's any less intense? Well, I'm not going to say it's more intense than fucking World War II, but you get what I'm saying. We all have our bar of tolerance, right? Everybody's worst day ever is their worst day ever, right? For some, somebody's worst day ever is being pinned down by Kraut machine gun fire, MG40 machine gun fire from elevated bunkers. Other people's worst days are having a fever, getting yelled at by their boss. But you know what? It still sucks. If that's their threshold for their worst day ever, it still sucks for them, right? So yeah, I am going through a war. It ain't my grandpa's war, I'll tell you that much. But I'm just trying to think of that. This isn't so bad compared to so many things out there in the world, man. I don't know what to talk about. I just needed to burn time. See, the purpose of these videos, it isn't just to like document like how I'm feeling. It's also to like burn time and for myself, but also show you just like unedited. Like I'll edit some of these, but like sometimes you just need to see all of it, you know? Like there wasn't much substance to this video. You know, I wasn't giving any like major guru advice or any life-saving advice. I just want to show you what it looks like to be sort of like worn down, but still have the resolve to continue. Like I'm still here. I'm still doing this no matter what. No matter fucking what. I'm pretending like my failure. I'm pretending like the world is depending on me. If I take another one of those fucking Asian drinks, I'm gonna destroy the world. The world is depending on me. You see, if I relapse, then you guys, you know, you fall out of existence, don't you see? You know, little games you play in your head. I still feel foggy and heavy and muddy and like, it's hard, like when your entire life revolves around trying to quit this, it's hard to like tend to stuff that actually matters. But that's the problem because like nothing really matters until you quit this. Like you could argue like getting a job for me right now matters because I can't pay anything. But it's not as important. Dude, if I gotta be homeless to do this, I'll do it. Because I know like there's nothing for me out there if I don't quit. I can go get a job right now, I'll fucking lose it. Well, maybe not now that I'm far enough out and I'm actually like maneuvering okay. Like I could probably tough it out. But for a very long time, guys, I put all these very important normal life duties off because I knew that I simply could not handle it. Like, even if I tried. Guys, I did it for years. I handled it for years, even if I wasn't doing so great. Like at my peak, and then at my peak, but the Kratom was turning on me and I was starting to like decline in skills and productivity. Like I stuck it through, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I'm losing my train of thought now. I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, sorry, I just lost that one. I'm all over the place, man. I was thinking about keeping my videos shorter. It's already 22 minutes. I'm a verbose fellow, if you couldn't tell. But I figure, like, I want to give you guys, like, a good bang for your buck, even though there is no buck involved. But looking at the analytics, audience retention is fairly low, which is average for these types of videos. But I'm thinking maybe it might be more beneficial to keep these between, like, 5 to 7 videos, maybe. Just based on average viewer duration. I don't really care about any. You see how I slide into these? Like that's something that like I've been trained just because of my other work online. Like I'm constantly thinking about like analytics, like click-through rate, you know, what works. The CTR rate was only 3.5% for this video. Why not? Because my average CTR is like 5.2. What needs to be changed? Blah, blah, blah. You know, so I'm already thinking about shit with this channel. And meanwhile, it doesn't matter. Like, this is not supposed to be some like, you know, fucking big channel. This is supposed to be specifically for those of you that find it in the depths of YouTube, right? Congratulations if you found me. I have no fucking clue how you found me because I didn't post these anywhere. Can't even post on the Quitting Kratom sub. You know what sucks, man? That's the other thing about this. Guys, I've leaned on that subreddit for so long. I love that subreddit. Like, yeah, it can get you into your own head. It can maybe make you feel like you're in a worse spot than you actually are. But it has been a lifesaver for me personally. For so many years, I post there. Then fucking Reddit banned me. I don't think, I didn't do anything like crazy egregious. I don't know why they chose to go all out on me. They went like scorched earth on me, dude. I can't, it's a full IP address ban. Can't make any new accounts anywhere in the house. It doesn't matter what device I'm using. Like I could buy a new phone right now. I'll sign up for Reddit and I'll be banned within a few minutes. And that sucks because like, and I didn't realize it at the time. But now I'm no longer to interact with the community that has like meant so much to me for so long. I'm rendered to an outsider. Like I want so much to engage and interact with people on the subreddit and tell them like, hey, I'm doing really good and you can too. Or, hey, congratulations, I can't believe you made it this far. But I can't even do that. Like I can only read passively. I can't interact. I can't like, and that really sucks because like, I feel like interacting with people in our current situation helps a lot. And I'm not allowed to do that anymore because I got into like some like relatively minor arguments on Reddit that resulted in a scorched earth thermonuclear weapon fucking banning IP range across the board. Get rid of them. We don't want them back here again. Oh, you're using a VPN? We caught that too. Bah! There's no way. Like the only way I'm getting back on Reddit is if I move and then constantly pretend to be from Asia. That's the only way I can ever interact with like the wider world on Reddit again. So I guess that explains the videos, right? Anyway, in about an hour and a half, I'll have 6 full days. 6 full days clean. Still preparing for the worst to come. Between now and day 9 or now and day 10. Anything is possible. I could feel on top of the world when I hit stop, or I could feel worse than I ever have before when I hit stop on this video. And that's going to be the same for every day here on out for the next 2 weeks. And then you've got the long game, the mental game, the psi warfare. Then you got the psychological warfare aspect of it after that. The psychic terror attacks you got to deal with after that. But we'll deal with those when we come. You can secure yourself from the psychic terror attacks if you keep your resolve intact in those first few days. And that's the good thing about being successful and not breaking in those first few days. Because the more you don't break, the more cravings you overcome, the stronger you feel mentally. I can do this. My confidence, it's growing. I can do this. So by the time those psychic goblins try and terrorize you during the post-acutes, you'll be ready for them. Peace.